everyone. Welcome to Amago, Season 1, Episode 10, The Role of a Father, Part 2. I'm your host, Vanessa Brown. Beloved, now we are children of God, and it has not yet been revealed what we shall be. But we know that when he is revealed, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. 1 John chapter 3, verse 2. This evening, again, we have Mr. Micheal Smalls in the Amago Studios with us. Micheal is a native Charlestonian who is 31 years old, and he is a single parent, the father of two, Micheal, 5, and Soraya, age 4. Micheal is a trainer for a local food chain restaurant. He is a local poet and also a podcaster. He is the podcaster of Fathering 365, which you can find on podpage.com/Fathering 365 LLC. He is a volunteer with the Father to Father organization. It is a local organization that assists fathers who want to reunite and remain an active part of their children's lives. So, welcome, Micheal, and thank you for being here again with us. I'm so glad we're talking, and this is such a great topic, Mike. So I've seen this a number of times. So then you're probably now my third nephew that I know has gone through this type of ordeal. So the thing I think that bothers me about this is in the case of your children's mother is this idea for a female then to use your child as a pawn on a chessboard.
Right.
Right? Because as you stated a minute ago, there was a time that if I'm the female, that I was so infatuated. We're not going to use the word love because we said love is patient, love is kind, love keeps no record of the wrong that's done to it. You know, we use that definition of love. So I'm going to say there was a time, as I'm the female, I'm pretending I'm the female. I was so infatuated with you that I laid with you that we made children together, right?
Right.
I was all googly eyes over you. You did something to me. Did something I didn't like, whatever. I am now no longer infatuated with you. I'm infuriated with you now. But now I have something that you do love. I have something you love. I possess something, someone you love. You didn't love me, but I have now someone you love. I have your child. And I'm going to use your child to pull at your heart. Because I don't have your heart. But I have someone who has your heart.
Yeah, and those were.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And it's such an evil, wicked. That is wicked. That is at the core. Now you got me going real spiritual. Mike. But that's such a wicked game because that's manipulation.
Yes.
At the core. You see what I'm saying? Manipulation is I can make you move when you don't want to move by doing things. That's what you call manipulation.
Oh yeah. And I think like it's so crazy because when I explain to other females, especially women that I know that have children, I'm like, I say men are so simple to the point to I say it'll rattle y'all because what we say makes sense versus how you feel because right now you thinking irrationally, like you infuriated. So what I had to explain to one of my friends who's a parent, I'm like, all of this love or that you did have versus I don't want to call it hatred. I said, but this dislike that you have, I said it just don't make sense. I said eventually this stuff rubs off on your child.
Child.
I said, don't you know? I say energy, spirits. I say they travel. I say, trust me. I said people come by you and you just feel off. I said that's real.
Yeah.
I said you don't want that around you 24/7 or in your home. I was like, so now you got to figure out how you gonna get your house in order, make sure your child is fine, and make sure that your spirit is back in line because you got all this anger built up for
Mhm.
what?
Mhm. For what? And and the hardest thing is, I'm like, so I have one of my adopted sons that someone you went to school with who's battling the same thing, and I actually need to give him your information because he's about to go to court because this young lady that was infatuated with him is now infuriated with him and is keeping his daughter away from him, who he is supporting financially and trying to support physically. He's trying to be in his daughter's life, but she won't let him see his daughter, right? And so I'm saying to him, do what you need to do for your child financially. Whenever you can see your child, try to see your child. Do not speak evil of your child's mother.
Right.
Pray for her. Keep your documents in order. Get you a lawyer. But don't battle with her with your mouth or with your mind because that's what she wants.
Exactly. That's the number one thing that is going to tear down your character.
Correct.
Pointless arguing. I remember arguing with the mother of my child, and my sister's like, "Okay, hang up the phone."
Hang it up.
She was like, "Now, seriously, Mikey, what are y'all arguing about?" And when I thought about it, I couldn't even tell her what were we arguing about because it was pointless and it was stupid. So from that day on, it was just like, do not give this person that type of energy or power over you. And ever since then, like, my answers are they open and they close. You might not like it, or hey, it is what it is. So I would definitely say to you young men out there, put your mental health first, because that's definitely something that's going to come and test you, your mental health every day.
Yeah. It's like I learned a long time ago, first of all, it takes two people to argue.
Yes.
It takes two people to argue. I'm not arguing with you. Like, this is my answer. I'm sorry that you're angry. You want me to engage in your anger, and I can't. I'm sorry that you don't like the way I answered the question, but here's my answer, and I'm done, and I'm moving on. But I'm not going to stoop to your level because my spirit is not there. My spirit is not where your spirit is, and I'm not going to let you take me there. Um, and that's exactly what they want though, because that's the manipulation. I want to control you,
Yeah.
and I want to control you because I have this person who your heart is attached to. And when you refuse to give that to them, then they're going to try to make you miserable.
Oh yeah.
They're going to try to make you miserable. Um, so, what kind of topics do you talk about on your podcast?
So we talk about pretty much everything. I like to talk about things that rattle people. Of course, we've talked about gun violence. We talked about domestic abuse. We've talked about the importance of gender roles, especially in this society, because like some kids know who they are, some kids don't know who they are, and even with social media, like I see a lot of stuff like forcing things on kids.
Mm-hmm.
We've also talked about oh man, I believe his name is Janine Davis. We talked about gentrification, changes going through the city.
Mm-hmm.
We pretty much talk about everything. We've actually even talked about religion versus pride.
Mm-hmm.
And with those topics there, like I said, my season one, I know I rattled some people, but you know, And that was my goal because I want to get you in a comfortable state to where you know you can talk to people
Mhm.
and hold conversations because now we live in this day and age to where everybody is so sensitive, but we can actually sit down and have a decent discussion. It doesn't have to be a debate,
Mhm.
you know. I feel like we all get along a whole lot more.
If we can just simply talk.
Yeah, and that's the whole purpose of the podcast because there's so many things that people do to their kids that I just don't find, liberating. Like you put your kid out at 16 or 17, your kid cannot handle the weight of the world at that age.
No, they can't.
I don't agree with putting your kids out young, you know?
No, and in fact, most people of wealth don't. Their kids are with them
A very
for a
long
very long
time.
time, and that's how they continue to be wealthy. Um, but yeah, we just have kind of a different mindset when it comes to that, and that's interesting. Tell me, uh, tell me some of the greatest challenges with being a single father.
Oh, man. So, I know some people might laugh at this, but actually registering these kids for school.
I'm not laughing. I'm an educator. I can imagine that it's pretty cumbersome.
Yes, I looked at some of that stuff like, what? Why do you need this information or what is this? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, things were so much easier in the 90s. But, registering the kids for school, definitely getting them to their doctor's appointments and making sure that their dentist appointments were up to date. That was definitely a challenge for me because I was like, okay, I got to go to work and then I got to make sure y'all get this done.
Mhm.
And I need to balance out my schedule with your schedule. So literally their schedule took over my schedule. So I put all my stuff last and I put their stuff first.
Mhm.
So that was definitely one of my challenges, actually making sure that they had everything that they needed.
Okay. Okay. Um, how is it for you as far as dating now?
Oh Lord. um, I mean, dating it's not hard for me, but it seems just like every time I meet a young lady, like and I don't date a whole lot, so if I put my time and attention on you, obviously I think you're special.
Mhm.
So when I meet women, I let them know right out the gate. I'm a father of two. Immediately, I'm a father first. So will not be out late or anything like that.
Mhm.
But man, these I don't know what's going on. These women are so, and don't get mad at me, but
I'm
sometimes
not mad. I was not gonna get mad at you.
these women like they broken. They don't know what they want. So much has happened to them. Some say they're healing and they don't actually know what healing is. So I'm
That's
like,
why I'm here. That's why Amigo is here. That's why your auntie now has, I have counseling. I have, yeah, so you can send them here. I just.
so even sometimes I'd be like, maybe I need to go to therapy because is it me or? Because I've had women tell me like, you too perfect. I'm like,
Too perfect?
I was like, I don't think I'm perfect. I say I know what not to do and I know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, and I follow the golden rule. You treat me like how you would want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that simple. But I know everybody is, not that simple because some people you meet they want to take you to war. Some people want to, love on you and try to understand you. So I definitely understand, how hard it is dating. But for me to be 31 years old, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting older. So I'm gonna need y'all to kind of be on the same page as me.
Do you think there is, and I'm asking this question as a woman, but do you think there is a double standard? So, um, this person's gonna remain nameless, but I have this person that's in my life, and we always smile, we always smile, but we go like, "Huh, that person got 3 kids. But so we kind of joke and laugh about those kind of things, but is there a double standard like as a man? So if you're a man and you have 2 kids, and if it's a female and that female has 2 kids, so does the female look at you kind of sideways when you say that you have 2 kids and you're single versus if I'm a female and I have 2 kids and I'm single?
Actually, no. Like when I tell people, I'm a single dad and I have two kids, like the
They
women,
find that attractive.
yeah, they flock. They do. I mean, some of them may be the right one, and then some of them might just have the wrong intentions.
Yeah, yeah.
But as far as the double standard goes with dating, it's just like if I got two kids and she got three, I,
Oh, so she got kids too. So then
yeah,
y'all be a family of five.
yeah, like
Oh, Jesus.
ain't no need to have no more. Don't tell me you want another one. Girl, you just had three. Now you sure you want one more? That's six.
Oh my goodness.
Trying to make sure you have a nice
That'd
honeymoon,
be Brady Bunch right there.
But like I tell a lot of folks, cause I did not understand the importance of a woman. So when actually women go through postpartum and we just think y'all crazy and stuff like that. For me, because I went to father to father and I took classes and graduated, it was actually women being in that class letting me know, because it's not double standards no more.
Hmm.
So actually hearing from the mouth of other women is like that's what also made me change my view and my look upon things. So when it comes to dating and women be like, "Oh, you too perfect," you better thank that woman that told me that because I could have been
Right,
somebody else.
right.
So it's like we trying to make your life easier. So just in case the next woman I do date, she goes through postpartum or she's having a little bit of depression or whatever's going on, at least I can
Recognize.
recognize it and be prepared for it.
Hmm.
Cause I talked to a coworker of mine who no longer works with me, but he asked me, he was like, "Hey man, like what kind of advice can you give me?" And I told him straight up, you be as transparent as possible, be honest, be open,
Hmm.
make sure she's fed, and rub her feet after a long day. Just make sure she got everything she needs.
Hmm.
As long as she's comfortable, you shouldn't have no problems.
So, Mike, tell me, we said that we were going to talk about the role of a father. So as a father, and again, kind of connecting this back to Father God, right? You're the father of two kids.
Hmm.
Tell me tell me about what you think are some of the key roles. What are some of the key, I'm saying roles, I don't know how you want to describe it. Like what are some of the key roles or positions that you think you that are important as a father? Like why is it important for the father to be there, and what roles is the father fulfilling?
So I have a daughter and I have a son. So when I look at them versus people who actually have, all girls or just all boys, it's like I gotta be fair and I gotta be stern at the same time too.
Mm,
So if Michael does something and then Sarai does something, I can't treat her no different. But I also have to display this like equal amount of love. Like to me, a father's role is to protect, to cultivate, to guide.
mm,
Like I have to do those things. Like they have to know right from wrong. So like when we're home and they can be at school all day
mm-hmm,
and I get off from work 2:30, I put them on the bus, I get them off the bus. They all over me.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it's like, they understand like, hey, this is dad, we love him. But the roles they definitely I have to provide. That's one of the things. Like there's no excuse for me not to have money in my bank account or
Mm-hmm.
to have the bills paid. Another thing like we I gotta be overprotective because the world that we live in it's like it's so crazy. So even if we at the grocery store, I'm like, all right, eyes with me, you in the buggy or you on the side of me. It's just those things. For some, it's just I really can't explain for others, but I definitely know for me, it's just that protect, protect, protect.
You said a lot, and I was trying to write my notes so I won't forget. You said provide, you said cultivate,
Cultivate,
you said
guide.
guide. Um, and I think all of those are key words. You said something else, and I missed it. Um, mm,
Yeah, I gotta make sure that my bills are paid. Like that's one of the main things for me, and it's like that equality being fair.
being fair.
Yes, because I have a daughter and I have a son, so I gotta be fair. I gotta treat them equally. Because I know for some people, they let their sons get away with bloody murder, and then when their daughter is like, no, don't do that. It's like, nah,
Mhm.
you can't. That's a double standard. So I'm definitely not raising no double standards.
Mhm.
Like they definitely know, hey, this is right, this is wrong.
Fair. Um, and I like that too. I liked, um, when you were saying all of these words, I'm listening to you, and then I'm thinking about God, and how He treats us. And again, because ultimately from this podcast, I want people to walk away understanding who God is to us, because there are so many people that don't see God as a father. For those people, as Dr. Fleming and I were talking previously, there's some people who, because they didn't have a father, they didn't grow up with a male figure, um, and so they can't equate our relationship. So when I say that we are children of God, they can't they can't get their heads wrapped around God the Father, that we are children of God. So who is this who is this God that's supposed to be like a father, and what does that look like, sound like, and feel like? And so your description of your relationship with your children and what you do for them, and how you treat them, is what I want to be able to help people understand, even those people who did not, or do not have a father. Um, that you want to be able to provide for them, you want to be able to cultivate them, you want to be able to shape them and show them which way to go. Like when you said eyes on me,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You're in the grocery store. I want you to have your eyes on me,
Yes.
because I want to be able to lead you in the way that you should go. Right? I want you to pay attention to me, because that person over there might be a stranger, and that person might be trying to hurt you. So I want you to pay attention to what I'm trying to show you.
Exactly.
You know, um, that's a boy, you're a girl. He might be a little bit rougher than you, but I want to be fair in the discipline that I'm going to give you. The
Exactly.
discipline might look different,
But it's the same.
it's the same, right?
Yes.
So that's the way our Father is, right? And even if I have to discipline you because you did something incorrectly, or you did something wrong, or you did something bad, at the end of the day, I still want you to be able to climb up on me and play with me and hug me, because I'm your dad.
Exactly. And boy, my daughter, she prime example.
Right.
My son, he'll be by himself, to himself doing his thing. But my daughter, I'm like, what are you doing?
Right.
So,
And not to cut you off, I'm sorry. Also, like, God is okay with that, right?
yes,
Like, if that's your way, if you're quiet and you are, just quiet alone, or Soraya who climbs all over you.
man. And it's like, for people who don't have their parents in their life, because I've met a good bit of people, who wish they had a relationship with their father or mother or whatnot. And to me, it's just like, when I think about my dad, I'm like, okay, I've heard stories. I've heard some funny stories. I've heard some meaningful stories. And it's just like when I turned 31 the other day, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish he was here to see me turn 31, because I figured he would have been super proud of the way I turned out.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, if you do have your parent out there, you're not on good terms, I would definitely say, if you can bury the hatchet or you can find some common ground, at least try to,
Right.
because it's definitely worth it. We are gems. Some days we might not think of it that way, but we definitely are gems. You got to treat yourself like that.
Right. Um, and I think I said this on a podcast previously. that parents aren't perfect. You know, like babies don't come with manuals, like kids don't come with instructions. Um, and as parents, like and I'm saying this because I'm a parent, like we also are a product of how we were reared or raised, and everything that's happened to us. And so people people have a capacity, and so I think that's why the practice of forgiveness is so important, right? So
Mm-hmm.
even your biological father, my brother, even in all of his imperfections, um, he was operating out of who he was. You know, he was not perfect. He made mistakes, but he was operating out of his capacity. And so we have to be able to forgive people for their shortcomings, um, and just know that at the time did the best they could with what they had, um, and know that for the wrong that they did, as my current pastor is teaching and preaching about grace, like, you know, give them grace, just forgive them for the mistakes that they made, and realize that if you don't, that somebody else is not also going to forgive you if you make some mistakes in raising your kids, because we all mess up, you
Oh
know?
yeah. I really do feel like imperfections do make you a beautiful person
Yeah.
because you are going to eventually learn from it.
Yeah, yeah. So, I think you turned out wonderful, and I thank God for it. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
So at 31, my brother couldn't be here, but I'm here. So look how God worked things out for you, you know. And so I thank Him for His grace, because it is amazing, and you've done amazing things.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. Well, again, everyone, thank you for joining us here at Amago. Mike, thank you for being here. We look forward to all of the work that you're doing with Fathering 360, 365 LLC. And again, please make sure that you visit him on his podcast. You can find him at podpage.com, fathering slash fathering 365 LLC. And again, it is fathering 365, and his webpage is podpage.com slash fathering 365 LLC. We are going to ask everyone if you would please share, download, and subscribe to Amago Podcast. Please also, if you would, leave us a review. And when you leave the review, if you would please use the at symbol along with your first name, and we'll be sure to give you a shout out on the next podcast. And we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, for we shall be just like him.